In the fall of 2010, CTV News began developing a series of reports examining the educational achievement gap between majority and minority students. Our specific focus, Prince George's Public Schools. In a jurisdiction that is majority African American, we began with this question. In a mostly black and affluent county, shouldn't Prince George's be a national model for closing the achievement gap? Tonight, we begin exploring the question in our special series, Children Come First, Closing the Achievement Gap in Prince George's County. Sonia Srivastava starts us off with former students from Duval, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Bowie High Schools.
Nicole Nelson, class of 1993, Duval. Justin Ross, class of 1994, Eleanor Roosevelt. Mary Nusser, class of 1973, Bowie High, and Eric Lemaster, class of 1981, also Bowie High. These men and women are alumni of the Prince George's school system. We spoke with all four to get their unique perspective on how things used to be and are now. It's a walk down memory lane for Nicole Nelson, mother of two, a former reporter. She covered education issues for the Journal newspaper and CTV. She's heavily involved in the PTA at John Hanson Montessori, where her two children go to school.
We felt very safe in our environment. I don't know if that's the case for many high school students now.
Justin Ross is a delegate representing District 22 in Annapolis and a father of four children. Two of them go to public schools in the county.
It was a wonderful experience. I really treasure it.
Eric Lemaster graduated from Bowie High. He's back teaching psychology. He is also the volleyball coach and has a child that goes to the school. He gives his perspective as a student, then teacher and parent.
We do a good job. I don't think we get as much credit as we should.
Mary Nusser is an education advocate. She's a former PTA president and now works at the Bowie Performing Arts Center.
We have a much better group of kids coming through here, and I do believe they're far more intelligent than we were going to school.
In the past, Prince George's has lost experienced teachers to neighboring counties. Are we simply not paying enough to retain good talent?
I've been teaching for 5.5 years. I'm still being paid as a first-year teacher.
I'm speaking as a parent looking at the teachers. They might be fed up. You know, they are here day in and day out, continuing to serve the county, serve the students, but yet they're not being compensated. Instead, they always have the threat of maybe not having their job.
We're very competitive with our neighboring jurisdictions when it comes to pay. The experience they have in the classroom is clearly a big part of why teachers leave.
We have lost a lot of good teachers to other counties. That is true, and to other professions. Just because if you're not getting a raise, you've got to support your family, and that's one thing that I've been struggling with. I mean, if I was making what I'm supposed to be making, we wouldn't be struggling financially. Right now we're struggling because I haven't gotten a raise, even the cost of living.
So what's changed? Are kids different today? Are parents simply not involved? Or are they too involved? Have youngsters forgotten the meaning of the word respect?
When I was growing up, if you did something wrong at school, your parents pounded on you. Your neighbors pounded on you, okay? Nowadays, if you do something wrong at school, the parents come up and try to defend you.
They're just about colorblind. They don't have the same kinds of racism that I heard, sexism that I experienced. Our children today are so much more in tune with the content of their character that Martin Luther King described.
I think we need to be realistic and honest about the fact that we're sending kids to school who can recite every word of every song on the radio, yet they don't know how to do their homework. I'm all for holding teachers accountable, but at what point do we hold parents accountable?
Some say the school system lacks resources, funding, and cooperation when it comes to counties like Montgomery and Howard. Delegate Justin Ross disagrees.
We get more money than any jurisdiction, with the exception of Baltimore City, in the state of Maryland. We have increased the amount of funding for public education by 82%. From the state to the local level, Prince George's County, over the last 10 years. I mean, at some point, it's not the money's fault.
My children have only been in the school system for 2 years, and I'm already tired, exhausted for fighting for just basic things. What I think Prince George's County does well is offering these different courses like the Montessori program, the French immersion, the talented and gifted, and the science and technology. What I think it lacks is giving them the resources. They just put a nice label on a program, but they don't make sure they invest in the program to make sure it's all it can be.
Mary Nusser believes if there was extra money, more alternative schools could be built for children who are not performing in traditional classrooms.
People say money's not going to solve anything. Oh yeah, it will. Money can solve by having more intervention. Right now, we don't even have enough rooms in the inn to take care of kids who can't be incarcerated and sent to adult prisons.
LeMaster thinks there is enough money, but feels sometimes officials don't spend it wisely and think outside of the box.
You could buy every incoming 9th grader an iPad and then buy their textbooks for 80% off. It would pay for the cost of the iPad, and then all the new textbooks could be done through the iPad. The kid would have an iPad his entire high school career, and all his textbooks would be on there. We'd save tens of thousands of dollars.
Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. You know, everybody wants a top of the line public education system, but the reality is the cost is more than people are willing to pay sometimes. You talk about Howard County or Montgomery County or places like Alexandria that have a huge commercial tax base. They have lots of businesses, they have lots of office buildings, and they pay taxes. We don't have that yet. I hope that we get there. We hope to get there soon.
Nelson feels playing musical chairs in Upper Marlboro, referring to new superintendents every couple years, is destabilizing for the county.
New superintendent comes in with new mandates, and then these are on top of mandates that the previous superintendent has issued for principals on down to teachers, to custodians, and so it just continues to bombard them with more paperwork to do. I know our principal at John Hanson Montessori School gets new policies. It seems like every day that she has to make sure this is in place and that is in place, and that keeps her in meetings and away from the school almost all the time because she has a new mandate almost every week.
I don't think that everybody is working together all the time. And I think that is what hurts us sometimes, is that we don't work together, we don't have a unified vision.
The one thing all 4 alumni say hasn't changed is the need for parents to take initiative in their children's lives.
As a teacher, all I do is facilitate learning. All I do is pass on knowledge and give you the information and make it presentable so that you can remember it. But that's only half of the teaching equation. The other half of the teaching equation happens at home.
If your kid comes home and says he doesn't have any homework, he's lying.
Sonia Srivastava for CTV News.
And our series Children Come First will continue tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned to CTV News.